Good evening. I'm Debbie, and we're keeping it simple with Testa's Pantry. Tonight, I decided to go old school. Bone-in chicken breasts. It's comfort food, and it's really great at this time of the year. But in addition to that, these cook well on the grill, too. They're not unhealthy. I did peel most of the skin off. Peter doesn't like it. He likes the skin, but I peel most of the skin off just because it's healthier. So I'm going to take these quartered chicken breasts with the bone, and I'm going to drizzle each with about a teaspoon of our extra virgin olive oil, the Koroneiki Organic. The Koroneiki Organic is really good with chicken and with vegetables. It holds up to the heat of the broiler really well too, without losing any of the fruitiness or its pungency. It's really good. So that was some salt. We sprinkled it with salt. We're doing some fresh ground pepper on all of the pieces. And next, this is really old school, haven't done this in a while, is garlic powder. Going to sprinkle, I have to find the sprinkler, sprinkle a little bit on each piece. Garlic powder is something that we tend to use more fresh garlic these days, but it's just the way it comes out so well under the broiler with the garlic powder. Now I'm going to make sure that both sides are coated with the seasonings and with the extra virgin olive oil. And I'm going to leave the bone side up, and that way we will get that underside cooked first so that it is a little bit, so that we ensure that it's all cooked all the way through. So there, that is all ready. I'm going to put that in a broiler 4 inches from the heat. So I'm going to pop that in right now. And it will probably take about 20 minutes to cook, but we'll check on it in a few minutes and see how it's doing. I like to make sure that it cooks a while. Now, to accompany that, we're going to do some sweet potatoes. Oven roasted sweet potatoes are very good done with some garlic and some rosemary. We really do like these. You can use regular potatoes, but we like the sweet potatoes. And we just use one for the two of us. So I've sliced them. I'm putting them in cubes that are not too big. And the reason is because this way they'll cook a little bit faster and everything will be done about the same time. So I'm cubing these, and I'm going to put them into our bowl. Sweet potatoes are a healthy alternative because what they do is they have a lot of the potassium that you don't always get with regular potatoes. They have a lot of the same characteristics that you get from a squash or carrots. All right, so here are our sweet potatoes. We are going to put those in a bowl. And again, we're going to use salt and pepper. Always the salt and the pepper. So we have those cubed in the bowl. A little bit more salt. Ina Garten always says you can't salt potatoes too much. All right, and then we have some chopped garlic that I'm going to mince. And we're not going to mince these too tiny. We want to make sure that they get nice and crunchy and crispy, the pieces. So we're going to mince these. I have 3 small cloves to that 1 potato that I'm mincing down. Okay, so that's about the size. We're going to put that in the bowl. And then I'm also going to put in some fresh black pepper and grind that in. And one of our favorite herbs to use is rosemary. So I have here, I think this is about enough. What I'm going to do is rip the leaves off. Make sure we don't get the stems. And And they don't have to be chopped. You can chop them if you prefer them smaller. We just kind of like to rip them off of the stems and make sure that the leaves are separated from each other so we don't have big clumps of them. Rosemary adds such a wonderful savory taste to the potatoes. And then we're going to add about, let's see, I'm going to add the Koroneiki again. So we're going to go about 2 tablespoons in here. All right, and then we're going to give that a toss and put it on our prepared sheet. So that looks really good. These will cook in, we like to cook them in a 425 degree oven for about 20 minutes. These will cook underneath the chicken that's in the broiler for about the same amount of time. It will be, the oven will be probably just about the right temperature. So I'm going to put these on a cookie sheet with foil. Foil makes such easier cleanup. I've been using it for several years now. All right, so I'm going to spread those out in a nice single layer. There. Those, like I said, will take about 20 minutes to cook. So I'm going to check on the chicken and see how that's faring. I'm going to put this in the oven underneath. And you can see that the chicken is starting to get nice and brown on the top. That has to cook on that side for about, I would say, at least another 5 minutes. And then flip it over and cook it for another 10. That way it's cooked all the way through. You want to make sure that the chicken's cooked to like 165 internal temperature. So thank you. Have a happy Thursday. Stay safe during the snowstorm, and we'll see you next week.